What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kareem. Last video that we had, I didn't tell you guys that I was actually starting contest prep. I've been dieting for about 5 weeks and I have about 11 weeks left. The show that I'm doing is the WNBF Iron Eagle down in Savannah, Georgia. It'll be my first pro show. So some people have been asking, about some of the things that I eat before I get ready to work out. So I'll show you what I'm doing now on my competition diet. So right now I'm actually going to just make some ground turkey, and I like ground turkey because it's pretty easy to make, and I don't really like a lot of chicken anymore. I don't like the baked chicken. A lot of times it tends to get dried out, but I have about 143 grams of turkey right there. I'm going to go ahead and throw that on the stove. And I actually tend to cook my meat probably about medium to low, so that way at least still has some moisture in it. And you always want to pre-weigh your meat. Don't weigh your meat after you cook it. You don't want to weigh your meat before you cook it, because as you can see, the meat loses a lot of fluids as you cook it and the volume is a lot less. So you can have, say this is 143 grams of turkey, but once I get done cooking it, it'll probably be like 105. So then if you weigh it after you pre-cook it, you think you're getting, say, 25 grams of, or actually 20 grams of protein, when it's really more like 32. So that's why you always want to pre-weigh your meat before you cook it. So second part of the meal, I actually have 225 here on the rice. I make my rice ahead of time in a rice cooker, and I have it set to where I know how much it is, even though I weigh it after I cook it. So you have to learn how to do those experiments for yourself. Another thing, I'll probably take my multivitamin here. It's from Garden of Life. It's a vitamin called liquid vitamin. So I like that. I think you can actually assimilate liquids a little better. So, and what I really like about this is the vitamin D content, and I also like the fats that they have in it, as well as the fruit and vegetable blend, as well as the probiotics. So this is definitely a good product from Garden of Life. So my meat is just about done, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. So not too bad. I actually usually like to put onions in my meat as well, but I actually ran out, so you caught me slipping today. So I got the meat ready, got the rice ready. One more thing that I like to take a little bit more magnesium. Last time I had a prep, my upper back locked up and my muscles locked up because I wasn't getting enough magnesium. I was working hard and taking caffeine, and what a lot of people don't understand is your magnesium gets depleted through stress, through hard workouts, and being on a prep is just a huge stress in its own right. I actually added some broccoli to that last meal, and I know you're like, damn, how can you eat that dry meat? Well, usually with most meat, I actually have 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, and sea salt is very healthy for you. It actually has many trace minerals in it, and sodium is actually an important electrolyte, and it's very beneficial for your performance in the gym. So I don't just eat dry meat all day. Alright, and another thing I wanted to show you is when I prep, I usually use Extend BCAAs. I'm not a big fan of BCAAs in the off season because I think you should get enough protein to get your BCAAs from your protein. But of course, when you're in a caloric deficit like me, I think right now I'm eating 2,082 calories, which is really not a lot. And another thing, I usually like to have some creatine in there with my intra-workout drink as well. So I'll take 2 scoops of BCAAs and I'll take 1 scoop of creatine and I'll put it in there, well, in this nice little purple container, and I'll just sip on that as I work out. I usually like to use Creaform or Glutiform, but I just happen to be at Tiger Fitness, and I really like Tiger Fitness. They were really good to us, so I try to support them and get their brands from time to time. So it's about time to hop in that car and go hit World Gym. So thanks for putting up with me, and we'll see you at the gym. Break yourself, fool.
What's up, man?
Get ready for this leg workout today. Figure we record today. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright. I think
You didn't tell me we record.
yeah. I figure, you know, we gotta start pumping these videos out.
Alright.
So we gotta get some work on tape. I see you got the warm up going here on the spin bike. Always a good idea before you hit the legs up. So I'm gonna get on this floor over here and I'm gonna roll. In our little mini off season, we've been focusing more on hamstrings first on our leg days. We typically start off with Romanian deadlifts first, and then we follow that up with a leg curl. There have been many studies to show that starting with a stretch position movement first, followed by a contracted movement, actually has been very conducive to muscle size and strength. I like to focus on hamstrings first because they're a weak body part for me, and in order for me to be able to be competitive at the pro level, it's something that I'm gonna have to work on. If you remember in our first video, it was the first time JK had ever tried glute ham raises, so he was kind of struggling. But if you look now, he looks like a seasoned vet. He even has added up to 40 pounds in weight, and he continues to get better and better at this movement. When I do glute ham raises, I like to push through my heels and keep my heel on the plate. That allows me to stretch my calf, and that way I get more emphasis on the hamstrings. It's always good to add some unilateral work. That way you can work on any inconsistencies that you have from limb to limb and make sure that you get a more perfect symmetry. Actually, no one's perfect, so I'll say to get better symmetry. Once the show is over, I'm definitely going to spend a good year or two working on more unilateral exercises. It's super important to initiate the quads first when you do these leg extensions, and don't just kick the weight up and destroy your knees. You always want to protect your joints, and you get more out of it if you actually focus on initiating with the quads and letting your quads do most of the work. Now, I'm pretty old school, but I like to warm up with leg extensions before I get into any kind of squat movements. That's just me. That's just what I've been taught, and it's never done me wrong. This machine is a bad boy. It's the swing squat. It's kind of a hybrid movement between a leg extension and a squat. This one will fry your quads up. There's a great range of motion. We try to be controlled with it, and you got to be a sick individual to like this one. You can always tell when a machine's going to kick your butt because there's never a long wait for it, even in January with all the New Year's resolutioners. JK has really come a long way and really embraced these walking lunges. Walking lunges are very underrated when it comes to building up your quads and glutes and legs, period. They've always been a staple of my workouts, and I think they really help build my teardrops. Walking lunges can also bring a cardio element to your workouts. I I usually alternate these with step-ups on the bench or single leg press. I'll tell you what, until you see yourself on video, you don't realize all the little inconsistencies that you have and your structure. And look at my legs, boy. I got a lot of work to do. My legs are extra long, which means I have a lot more surface to fill out. We were feeling kind of lazy here, so we used the leg curl machine and turned it into a glute bridge machine, and got this one for my girlfriend Katie. So just try to do something different, and I can tell you today my glutes are really on fire, and then tomorrow it's gonna be even worse. But at least my hips won't be bruised from having that straight bar across my hips. So we finished off the workout with some calves, and JK's got really long calf muscles. I have really short calf muscles. I have the black folks calves. So we did the seated first. You know, make sure that you stretch in between sets. I got this little gadget from Bob Rocker's running spot. It's been really helpful in keeping my calves loose. And finally, I like to end off with back extensions. I figured you use your back in your squats, you use a lot of your lower back in Romanian deadlifts, so why not just go ahead and hit it at the end of your leg workout. Like that workout, JK?
I like it. It's a lot of pain.
There's a lot of pain, that's it? Alright.
It's a good time.
Don't want to do
good
too
time
much.
Here at World Gym.
This is true. Well, that's all, folks. Time to go watch some NFL football. Peace.